Now at 5, the city of Neosho is packed with people as Missouri's largest garage sale kicks off. Plus, we'll hear from the first Latino elected to Carthage, Missouri School Board. And a four-state hero is laid to rest after more than 75 years.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
It is standing room only in Neosho, Missouri, as Missouri's largest citywide garage sale kicks off. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach. KOAM's Anthony Saviello is live in Neosho, and he joins us now.
Hey, thanks, Tanya. Like you said, we're down here in Neosho at the citywide garage sale that's going on right now. We're actually here at Monarch Baptist Church. Not only are they participating in the garage sale, you can see behind me the tables filled with plenty of items, a variety of different items. But they're also raising funds for a few of their organizations. And I'm here with Associate Pastor Robert Smith. Robert, thank you for doing this with us today, sir. So tell us what you guys are raising funds for today.
So we've got two different sides to this particular project today. The first side is for what we call Metamorphosis, which is a new youth group that is starting in July with the church here. And then the second side of it is for our organization called Shield Academy. And Shield Academy is a self-preservation community organism, and I say that because of its members. Absolutely. And, you know, tell me why you guys decided that today would be a good day to raise funds. Because it was one of the best ways to reach out to the public, and not only that, but in a way to serve, because we got donation items and different things. The church has a history in the community of wanting to serve and being a part of serving the community in multiple ways. And when we came on board with the church, we would definitely want to be a part of that because serving is very important to us as well. Absolutely. And last question I have for you, Robert. What is it like? You were just talking about being a part of the community, being out here. You're not the only people today who are out doing garage sales. There's multiple different houses, groups, organizations out here selling items. What is it like to have that knowledge that an entire town is participating in one just big collaborative effort? I think it's wonderful, and it means a lot to us as a church and as Shield Academy. It's something that when you go outside of the four-state area, I've got family and folks we know personally here that they don't see that. I've got a family member that's here from Florida, and they're like, they don't do that, you know, in other places like this. So to have that here means a lot, and it's a very special thing. Absolutely, absolutely. Robert, thank you once again. Appreciate you, sir. Make sure you make your way down here to Neosho for the citywide garage sale. Stop by Monarch Baptist Church as well. They got plenty of stuff. Tanya, back to you.
All right, thank you, Anthony. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Yeah, it's turned out to be a great Friday, of course. Friday night on the big towns and looking pretty good for us tonight with pretty much clear skies. Temperatures quite a bit warmer for us today. 69 in Joplin, 67 is where we stand in Pittsburgh, sitting mid-60s on the Missouri side. And then you hit the 70s. Look at Veneta, 75, 72 Independence. Chanute is sitting at 70 degrees. Now the winds, they're not bad, but these are really going to increase as we go through about the next 24 hours or so. A few little mid and upper level clouds kind of streaming through with the beginnings of our next storm system, which will start to affect us tomorrow night. But this evening, we're fine. 70s, 60s, 50s, upper 40s. Severe threat tomorrow evening. And we're going to look at the eclipse weather, all coming up here in just a bit.
Sounds like we got a lot to talk about. Thanks, Doug. Carthage residents elected the first Latina school board member in the district's history this week. Maria Sanchez won with 32% of the 3,555 votes. She's been involved in the community since she moved to the four states almost 20 years ago. And even though the district offers translators to support parents who do not have English as their first language, having a board member who comes from the same background and understands their culture is especially important to the town's Latino community.
I don't just want it to be me, I want other Hispanic leaders. It's not just me, we need to be working at it and be in front and be more resourceful and be available to serve our community.
Nos sentimos como en casa. Para nosotros es muy importante.
We feel at home. For us, it's very important, the language. Like for us, our first language is Spanish. So it's hard. For education, it's very important to our family.
Es muy importante para nuestra familia.
Sanchez's son and daughter graduated from Carthage schools, and now her grandchild is a student in the district. 43% of the Carthage student body identifies as Latino or Hispanic. Today, a four-state hero is laid to rest after more than 75 years. Corporal Julius Glenn Wolfe was just 20 years old when he was declared missing in action and then deceased following D-Day in 1944. But in 2023, his family received news from the Army they never expected to hear. Corporal Wolfe's remains were found and identified through DNA sampling. Today, he was laid to rest in his hometown of Liberal with military honors.
It just feels like some wounds are healed, I would say. We've been here to the cemetery many times and next to my grandparents, and there was a tombstone here all this time, but my mom always said, well, they never received his body.
His family says they hope to continue to learn more about the fallen soldier's life. President Biden visited Baltimore today to get a firsthand look at the damage from the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge and meet with the people impacted by the collapse the most. Chris Van Cleve has more details from Baltimore.
President Biden met with family members of the 6 construction workers killed when a cargo ship hit the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore last week, causing its collapse.
After pulling a night shift fixing potholes, they were on a break when the ship struck.
Earlier, the president flew over the wreckage in Marine One and got a briefing on the recovery efforts.
You know, from the air, I saw the bridge that's been ripped apart. But here on the ground, I see a community that's been pulled together.
The Biden administration sent a letter to Congress Friday, formally requesting lawmakers authorize 100% of the costs to rebuild the bridge. The federal government did the same during previous incidents, including 2007's I-35 bridge collapse in Minneapolis.
And we're going to get this paid for, aren't we? Yes. All right.
The conservative House Freedom Caucus released a statement saying it will agree to the spending, but with conditions. It wants the money offset with cuts to other areas of the budget. Backers expect the measure to win bipartisan support.
As the work gets underway to reopen the channel and rebuild the bridge, carry out an investigation, and Transportation Infrastructure Committee will closely monitor developments and work with the families and stakeholders impacted.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the Democratic-led Senate will quickly move to vote on a funding request to rebuild the bridge. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Baltimore.
The Baltimore Orioles and Baltimore Ravens announced they are donating $5 million each to the Key Bridge Emergency Fund. That fund provides support for families, port workers, first responders, and small businesses impacted by the bridge collapse. An earthquake today shook New York City. The 4.8 magnitude quake hit central New Jersey, sending tremors throughout much of the Northeast that millions of people felt. And though it caused minimal damage, safety crews in New York City are making sure buildings and bridges did not suffer any structural damage. Still ahead, how Crawford County residents can get easier access to same-day mental health services. Plus, what a new survey shows about Americans' knowledge of eclipse safety. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, the Crawford County Mental Health Center is trying to reach more residents. Today, they brought their mobile same-day access RV to Northeast High School in Arma. Mobile same-day access will be available at Northeast High School on the first Friday of each month from 9 a.m. to noon. And then on the last Friday of every month, it'll be at the Crawford County Courthouse in Girard, also from 9 a.m. to noon. The total solar eclipse is just days away, but a new survey finds many Americans are not aware of the potential dangers of viewing the eclipse if they don't prepare. Bradley Blackburn has more.
The excitement and anticipation are growing as the total solar eclipse approaches, but that rare view in the sky could damage your eyes if you don't take precautions. A new survey of more than 1,000 Americans finds 1/3 don't know looking at a solar eclipse without proper eye protection can cause permanent damage.
The retina is really what gives us our vision, and that's the thing that we're most concerned about, the sun's rays impacting the retina. After the 2017 eclipse, there were people that suffered vision loss.
Dr. Nicholas Kaman is an emergency medicine physician with Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. He says while having the compliant ISO 12312-2 glasses is critical, there are other concerns to consider. Many people will be traveling to get a better view, which could cause crowding and heavy traffic in some areas. So Dr. Command says be prepared.
The last thing that I think a lot of people are missing is the infrastructure stresses that the eclipse is going to have on our country. I think probably not enough thought is being given to what I need when I travel. You're going to need to make sure that your car has a full tank of gas, that you have water, that you have snacks, that you have your medication.
He advises having an emergency kit with first aid supplies, medications, cell phone chargers, weather-appropriate clothing, and a map. Be sure to discuss your eclipse viewing plans with family and anticipate that it will take you a few hours to leave your eclipse viewing location. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The poll also found more than 10% of those surveyed believed an eclipse can cause natural disasters, sleep problems, and mental health issues. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, a good sign for the economy.
Another jobs report, another better than expected result. I'm Bradley Blackburn, and I'll tell you what it means for workers.
Plus, we're going to look at that eclipse forecast and some weekend storms coming up next. Well, it turned out to be a great Friday for us today. Warmer temperatures near 70 for most of us, a lot of us into the 70s, and it looks great right now. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, and just a few plain contrails out there, and that is just about it. Overall, looking pretty good. Throughout the evening, slide back through the 70s, 60s, 50s. I think we'll bottom out near 50 later on tonight. Here's 7th and Rangeline sitting at 69. East-southeasterly winds at about 5 to 10, but the winds are really going to pick up as we go through really the entire weekend. Right now, we just have a southeasterly wind, kind of 5 to 10, but by tomorrow, we're going to have gusts, look at this, 40-ish. They're really going to be moving tomorrow. And even on Sunday, still, we're going to have winds gusting 25, 30, upwards to 35 miles per hour at times. We do have some mid and upper level clouds kind of streaming in. The beginnings of our next storm system, which is just out to the west. It is centered out here across parts of Nevada and then down into California. But this is going to kick out as we go into the weekend. It's going to give us a chance for strong to severe storms tomorrow as well. Level 1 out of 5. Main threat here is going to be hail and wind from 7 p.m. tomorrow until midnight. I'm going to keep all the threats low, but something we want to watch, especially as we get into Saturday. All right, let's take a look at it. Tonight, we drop back near 50. As we go through the morning hours, strong southerly winds pushing 70 by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, most of us 74, 75 degrees. Here's 5 p.m. Let's go through the evening. Thunderstorms erupt here 7:30, western counties. Drive east, Iola, Chanute, down toward Coffeyville, Independence by 8 or 9 p.m. Again, some of these could be severe. Main threat, gusty winds at 60, 65, and quarter-size hail. They drive east. Thunderstorms now by 10, 11 from Nevada, Pittsburgh, Chautauqua, down through northeastern Oklahoma. They get all in Missouri by midnight, 1 a.m., and then they're gone. And then as we continue through Sunday morning, it looks pretty good. Sunshine again on Sunday. High temps right around 70 once we get into Sunday afternoon. All right, potential rainfall. We'll have to see where the heaviest storms line up, but a lot of areas are going to pick up quarter, half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, depending on where those stronger storms set up. Breaking down your weekend, 75 tomorrow, 70 on Sunday. Evening storms, very windy all weekend long. And let's go into Monday, of course, Eclipse Monday. Here's 1:30. We have partly cloudy skies. Where totality is could be an issue. So first off, let's zoom into our area because we are going to have partly cloudy skies. We are going to get some visibility, but if you want to go into totality, a higher chance for a ton of clouds. I'm hoping this storm system slows down a little bit and we get some clear spots out there, but cloud cover definitely an issue on Monday. 74 on Saturday, 70 on Sunday, 74 on Monday. Thunderstorms back in Tuesday into Wednesday, and then again by next weekend.
All right, well, hoping those clouds move on out.
Or not move in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not moving at all. But in the meantime, we'll keep our eyes on those
Absolutely.
storms. Yeah, for sure. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, coming up, why you might want to head to your laundry room and check your detergent. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the U.S. employment market continues to defy expectations. Bradley Blackburn has the results of a new government report.
The warming weather is helping the job market stay hot. Businesses on Myrtle Beach in South Carolina are already looking for seasonal workers.
Just looking for the help that we need to fulfill these spots.
Restaurants, hotels, and others in the leisure industry added 49,000 jobs in March, finally getting the industry back to pre-pandemic levels. Overall, employers brought on more than 300,000 jobs, about 100,000 more than economists expected. The unemployment rate fell from 3.9 to 3.8%.
There's a virtuous cycle that we see. People are able to get jobs, make money, they can spend money. The fact that they spend money allows companies to keep hiring.
The new report also shows workers continue to make more money, but wages are not going up as quickly as before. Hourly earnings jumped 4.1%, the smallest increase since 2021, but still more than inflation, which is currently at 3.2%. Some employees are seeing a bigger boost. A minimum wage increase in California is giving fast food workers there a raise to $20 per hour. That includes Sandra Vasquez, who has 4 kids.
Really nice. It will help.
The job market continues to surprise economists who've been predicting a slowdown.
It's hard to know when or if the job market is going to let up, but I think probably at some point this year we are going to see it.
Some industries are slowing down. Tech companies, including Apple and Amazon, announced more layoffs. But for now, a large number of companies continue to put out the hiring sign. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The unemployment rate has been below 4% for 26 straight months, the longest streak since the 1960s. Well, millions of packets of popular laundry detergent pods have been recalled due to faulty packaging. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says the pods pose a serious risk of accidental ingestion by young children and may cause facial injuries. The recall involves Tide, Gain Flings, Ace, and Ariel liquid laundry detergent pod packets, which were made between September of 2023 and February of this year. Well, Ford is delaying production of 2 all-electric vehicles to allow time for the EV market to mature. Instead, it will focus on hybrid versions of all of its North American vehicles by 2030. As for the delays, a large all-electric SUV with 3 rows is being pushed to 2027. And an all-electric pickup truck is being delayed until 2026. Final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, Steve Hartman takes us on the road to see the wonder of an eclipse through the eyes of children. And then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to check back in from the Neosho's citywide garage sale. Plus, why the Joplin Police Department got filled with pinwheels today. And Diamond and East Newton square off on the baseball diamond in the Mickey Mantle Classic. We'll have highlights. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Well, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's an insanely expensive comic book, but this isn't your average comic. It's Action Comics #1, the issue that introduced Superman in 1938. It sold yesterday at Heritage Auctions for $6 million. The sale breaks its own world record. A copy of the same comic sold privately in 2022 for $5.3 million. Whew, that's expensive.
It is.
Yeah.
All
Final
right.
check?
Yeah, tonight, if you're getting out this evening, looks good. Temperatures tomorrow, it's going to be very windy, but near 75. Some thunderstorms tomorrow evening, and then sunny again on Sunday.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6, and we'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.